What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing a beer from the Heretic Brewing Company, and they're out of Fairfield, California, and this is their Goo. So they're calling this one a barrel-aged Imperial Milk Stout that is brewed with cocoa, vanilla, coconut, and lactose. Comes in at 12% alcohol by volume, 40 IBUs at the time of review. This can is approximately 5.5 months old, and I'm going to give a huge thanks and shout out to a very good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Todd. So thank you very much, Todd. Todd hooked me up with this one. It was back in September when I went to Cincinnati, Ohio, hung out with Todd, a couple other fellow beer tubers and good friends of mine, Rod over at Rod J Beer Ventures and Eric over at the Big Daddy Chronicles, now no longer Eric, a Lions fan. And yeah, he hooked me up with a bunch of beers. I think he gave me, I want to say it was maybe 4 to 6 beers, and this is one of the beers he gave me. Now, I sat on it for the last 3 months or so because I had so many other like hop forward beers and other beers that I need to get to before this one. So this one has been in my fridge since mid-September, and I'm a little bit worried because there's so many different adjuncts in here and it's barrel aged and whatnot, but I think we'll be okay. We will see. On the side here it says, we age our rich Imperial Milk Stout in bourbon barrels with our favorite cocoa, vanilla beans, and freshly toasted coconut. The skill is in finding the perfect balance between all the flavors and crafting a beer that is rich, not too sweet, deliciously drinkable. So yeah, I'm down with that. So thanks again, Todd. I do apologize for waiting on this one so long, but again, threw it in my fridge and just kind of, wanted to find a perfect time to drink this one, and I think the middle of winter is a perfect time. So let's crack this one open, get it into the cans, and go from there. So I'm hoping for some deliciousness, because this sounds great. And that is pouring out like motor oil. So very thick. It's not straight on black in the pour. It's more of like a very deep brown, or almost like mahogany. But in the glass, definitely pitch black. So yeah, that's pitch black in the glass. About a finger of this really deep, dark brown head. Super creamy looking. Alcohol legs everywhere. Looks fantastic. Oh, that smells great. So Imperial Milk Stout that's barrel aged with all those adjuncts. This smells fucking dynamite. Super rich chocolate to this one, like almost like Hershey's special dark chocolate. It has that kind of sweetness. I'm not saying from a quality aspect. I'm just saying from like the sweetness aspect. This is like a really quality dark chocolate. Just sweet, but not crazy sweet. The barrel's there, vanilla, probably from the vanilla in here, but also the barrel aspect as well. Lots of vanilla. The bourbon spirit overriding everything. I should say overriding. It's kind of just riding on top of the entire characteristic of the beer. It's just like it's there. It's omnipresent. Not getting much toasted coconut, so maybe that has faded with time. But yeah, they said what? Cocoa, vanilla, coconut, and lactose. Definitely getting the cocoa, tons of chocolate, definitely getting the vanilla. Lactose is probably just enhancing the vanilla and probably more for like mouthfeel, and the fact that it's an Imperial Milk Stout as opposed to just Imperial Stout. It smells quite sweet, but it smells more rich than like straight on sweet, or like a confectionery sweetness. Touch of oak tannin as well. Wow, this is quite complex. Man, this smells fucking dynamite. This has been on my fridge for about 45 minutes. I think it's a perfect drinking temperature. Looks like a fantastic beer. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again, Todd. Toasted coconut is there in the taste. Definitely faded in the nose, but the taste. Wow, this is good. This is fucking good. This is real good. Oh, I don't know if this would, I have no idea what this is fresh, or, when Todd gave it to me, it was probably, time I would have drank it, been a couple months old. I can't imagine it being much better than this. All right, so first thing I will say, get it out of the way. The body, definitely thin. That's my one knock right from the get-go from this beer. This is like lower side of full body, higher side of medium. So for something that's 12%, definitely thin. When it's pouring it looked kind of motor oil-esque, but I said it was like more of like a dark brown, and I'm not surprised this one's thin. The mouthfeel though, so soft, so smooth and creamy. It's luscious, it's pillowy. It has carbonation, so it's not undercarb, but it's kind of an afterthought. It's just so creamy and smooth, that lactose, and just the fact that it's 12%, and just, yeah, the mouthfeel's spectacular. Body, disappointing, mouthfeel spectacular. So when you even it out, solid body mouthfeel overall. But the taste follows suit from the nose. All the chocolate up front, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, cocoa powder, baker's chocolate. Like, it has like different nuances with it's very complex chocolate characteristic to this beer. Then the vanilla is kind of mixing in with everything. And then halfway through the palate, the barrel characteristic shows up. You actually get the spirit, but you also a little bit of oak tannin, and the toasted coconut kind of finishes on the back of the palate. So it goes chocolate, vanilla, barrel characteristic, toasted coconut. The finish on this one, it's definitely sweet. I think there's a little bit of oak tannin dryness and just dryness, like a semi-dry finish in this one in general, that it kind of just, it slightly balances it out. I wish there's maybe a little bit more bitterness because there's almost no bitterness in here. There's a very minute and mild bitterness to this one, very subtle. But the dryness kind of offsets that sweetness. It's not too sweet, it's nowhere near approaching cloying or anything, but I just wish there was a little bit more dryness to kind of balance it out. It's a fucking delicious beer. 12%, no way in hell. This tastes like it's 8 to 9%. The only indication that this is a bigger beer is I can taste the barrel, but also a little bit of like stomach warming, not even chest, feeling it more in the stomach area. Nothing on the palate would indicate this is 12%, nothing in the chest. It's just, yeah, they did a great job hiding the alcohol in this one. This is fucking delicious. Wow. Yeah. Rating. What do I want to give a rating on this one? Because the body does impact it for me. And a lot of times, I've said this in so many different reviews, like I have a love and hate relationship with the body of beers because sometimes it doesn't matter to me depending on the style, and sometimes it's really a detriment. In this case, the thinness of this beer definitely knocks it down a little bit for me. I want this to be viscous and chewy and just like, you know, it's like you're chewing on the beer as you're drinking it. That's with 12% beer, that's what I'm thinking of. It's just a big, viscous, chewy beer. And that's not what this beer is. It's definitely thin. But the mouthfeel makes up for it to some degree, and I love the taste. So I'm going to give Goo from Heretic a high 4.5 out of 5 and go 4.6 out of 5. I think it deserves it. Think if that body was bigger, this would be in the 4.75 range, because I've never had anything from Heretic, and I've heard of, about Heretic before, but I've never had anything from them. And, you talk about a beer like this, Barrel Aged Imperial Milk Stout, and you're saying it has cocoa, vanilla, toasted coconut, and lactose in it, and all these things are going on, a lot of moving parts, and then you drink it and you're like, wow, I get most of what they're talking about. Like, for me, it's very rare nowadays to have 3 or 4 different adjuncts in a beer and pick up on all of them, and I did in this beer. Just the body knocks it down a little bit. So 4.6 out of 5, it's a fucking amazing score because it's an amazing beer, but it would get higher if the body was a little bit bigger. So if you've had this one before, let me know what you think about it. Price and availability, I have no idea. I had no idea that Todd got Heretic in his neck of the woods. They are from Fairfield, California. I don't think their distribution is super big or anything. So Todd, let me know what you paid for this one if you remember. Also, let me know what the distro of Heretic is in your area. And if anyone does get Heretic, if you live in California or you get them distributed to your area, let me know what the availability is on this, because I would imagine the price point on this one is probably 8 to 10 bucks for a 12% barrel aged beer like this, and I would have no problem paying that for this considering the quality of this beer. So yeah, damn good beer. Once again, thanks to Todd for hooking me up with this one. Kind of the surprise of the beers he gave me back in mid-September, and pleasantly surprised because this is fucking absolutely delicious. Appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review. To the next one. Cheers.